Right now, as you watch this, there is a real chance the government is holding a pile of money with your name on it. Not a scam, not a metaphor, an actual account sitting in a state office that legally belongs to you and that you have almost certainly never been told about. 1 in 7 Americans has unclaimed money waiting for them. That is not a rounding error. That is 33 million people. And the total sitting there, right now, unclaimed, is around $70 billion. But this is not a feel-good story about free money, because here is the part nobody tells you. The same system that is holding your money has a clock running on it. And when that clock runs out, they can sell what is yours, keep the difference, and do it all completely legally. One man was owed $4.2 million. The state handed him $1.6 million, and he had broken no rule, missed no letter, done nothing wrong. I am going to tell you exactly how that happened, but first you need to understand how your money ends up in a government vault in the first place, because the answer is more ordinary and more disturbing than you think. Here is the uncomfortable truth. You do not have to be rich or careless or forgetful to have unclaimed money. You just have to have lived a normal life. You moved apartments and forgot to update one old address. A company you worked for years ago mailed your final paycheck to a place you no longer lived. A refund check arrived while you were away and slipped behind a drawer. An old bank account with $40 in it went quiet. A utility deposit was never returned. An insurance payout was sent to the wrong person. A grandparent bought stock in your name and never mentioned it. Every one of those is invisible. None of them feels like losing money. And that is exactly the problem. So money does not vanish in a dramatic moment. It slips away in silence, one forgotten detail at a time. After a few years of no contact, usually 3 to 5, sometimes just 1 for a paycheck, the company holding your money is legally required to hand it over to the state. The technical word for it is escheatment. Remember that word, because escheatment is where free money quietly turns into something darker. Let me give you the numbers, the real ones. Across all 50 states, there is roughly $70 billion in unclaimed property right now. The average person who is owed something is owed more than $2,000. In California alone, the state is holding about $15 billion. And the state's own controller estimates that 1 in 3 people who search their name will find something waiting. 1 in 3. Think about that. That is not a lottery. That is closer to a coin flip. And it is not just bank accounts. There is an estimated $32 billion in forgotten savings bonds. There are uncashed dividends, insurance policies, pension checks, and the contents of safe deposit boxes, actual jewelry, gold, coins, and family heirlooms sitting in state custody because someone, somewhere, lost track. In one recent year, states returned a record $4.5 billion to the people it belonged to. That sounds like a lot, but against $70 billion still sitting there, it is a drop. For every dollar that found its way home, more than 15 did not. So why doesn't it? Why does tens of billions of dollars just sit there? That is where the story turns. Here is what almost nobody realizes about that government vault. The state is not supposed to own your money. Legally, it is only the custodian. It is holding it for you, in theory, forever. But in theory is doing a lot of work in that sentence. Because while the state holds your money, things start to happen that are not in your favor. If what you left behind was stock, shares in a company, the state does not simply hold those shares for you. In most cases, it sells them. And when you finally come to claim what is yours, You do not get the stock back. You do not get what it is worth today. You get the cash value from the day they sold it. Every dollar it gained after that, every dividend, every split, every year of growth is gone. And it gets worse because the states figured out something a long time ago. This money is useful. While it sits unclaimed, many states spend it. They fold it into their budgets. In some states, unclaimed property is one of the largest single sources of revenue they have, which creates a quiet, ugly incentive. The state makes money the longer you do not find yours. And if you think that incentive doesn't change anything, look at the clock. In California, the window before your assets are declared abandoned used to be 15 years. Then they cut it to 7, then to 3. 3 years of silence, and the state can take custody of what is yours. Not because you abandoned it, because a shorter clock means more money flows to the state, faster. This is no longer a story about forgetfulness. This is a system, and to show you how brutal that system can be, I need to tell you about one man. His name is Jan Peters, and in the year 2000, he made the kind of decision most people only dream about. He was a young programmer in Germany. He had 3 job offers. He chose a small company that had just bought an online bookstore. He became employee number 68 at the German division of a company called Amazon. You can already see where this is going. Peters was paid partly in stock, and over the years, that stock did what Amazon stock did. It grew into a fortune. By the time he went to look, his shares were worth around $4.2 million. A lifetime of security, a retirement, generational money. Except when he went to claim it, it was gone. Because his brokerage account had sat quiet for 3 years, California law required it to be handed to the state, escheatment, and the state had not held his Amazon shares. Back in 2017, they had sold them at the price they were worth that day, $1.6 million. So when Jan Peters came for his $4.2 million, the state of California handed him $1.6. The other $2.6 million, the growth, the part that would have changed his life, was gone. Not stolen by a criminal, not lost in a crash, sold and absorbed by the system that was supposedly protecting it. Legally, he broke no rule. He simply trusted that money sitting in an account would stay where he left it, and that trust cost him more than most people earn in a lifetime. Now ask yourself a quieter question. If it can happen to a man with millions in Amazon stock, what makes you so sure it isn't happening, in some smaller way, to you? And remember those safe deposit boxes. When the clock runs out on one of those, the state does not lovingly preserve your grandmother's wedding ring. It auctions it. You can claim the cash it sold for. But the ring itself, the photographs, the irreplaceable thing, is gone to a stranger at a public auction. In some states, lawmakers have floated proposals to stop returning the money at all after enough time passes, to simply keep it. One proposal even suggested using a state's pile of unclaimed money to help pay for a sports stadium. Your forgotten paycheck, their stadium. This is the part the cheerful news segments leave out. Yes, there is money waiting for you, but the longer you look away, the more the system is built to benefit from your silence. So let's make sure you are not the one paying for it. Here is exactly what to do. It is free, it takes about 2 minutes, and you should do it the moment this video ends. Go to one website, missingmoney.com. It is the official database backed by the National Association of State Unclaimed Property Administrators, and it searches almost every state at once. You type in your name. That is it. Then do it again for every state you have ever lived in. Search your maiden name. Search your parents' names. Search a business you once owned. Search relatives who have passed away, if you are their heir, because billions in unclaimed inheritance is found by people who never knew the account existed. While you are there, check 3 more places. The IRS, for tax refunds that were never delivered. And be careful, because if you wait more than 3 years, that refund legally becomes the property of the Treasury, and you lose it forever. Treasury Hunt, for those forgotten savings bonds, and the Department of Labor, for pensions and wages from old employers. And one warning, you will see companies that offer to find your money for a fee, a percentage of whatever they recover. Do not pay them. Everything they do, you can do yourself, for free, in less time than it took to watch this. They are charging you for your own money and counting on you not knowing the search was free all along. But here is the real reason I made this video. Because this was never only about unclaimed money. Stop and ask why that $70 billion exists in the first place. It is not because people are stupid. It is because attention is finite, and the entire modern financial system is built around the things you will not look at. The forgotten account, the auto-renewing charge, the refund you never chased, the asset you assumed would take care of itself. The money does not leave because you decide to let it go. It leaves because you never decided anything at all. It slips through the one gap the system is counting on. The gap between what you own and what you actually pay attention to. That is the pattern behind almost every quiet financial loss in your life. Not a dramatic mistake, a slow, silent absence of attention. And no government, no company, no app has any incentive to fix that for you, because your inattention is their revenue. Money is a tool. It is not an identity, but a tool you never look at, a tool you assume is safe simply because you cannot see it leaving, is a tool that is being used by someone else. That $70 billion is just the most literal proof of a law that governs your entire financial life. What you do not audit, audits you. So here is the question. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. When was the last time you actually went looking for what is already yours? Not earning more, not chasing the next thing, just checking what you have already been given and forgotten. Open missingmoney.com. Search your name. It might cost you 2 minutes. It might hand you back $2,000 or far more. And even if it gives you nothing, you will have practiced the one skill that protects every dollar you will ever own. Paying attention. Subscribe to Money Fails. Real stories, real mistakes, real lessons. Because the money with your name on it will not wait forever. The state is counting on you to look away. All you have to do is look. See you in the next one.